In Isaac Asimov's science fiction story, The Last Answer, he portrays God as a bored entity who seeks to escape the hellish monotony of eternity through the invention of novelty. This is a palatable solution to the problems of infinity and entropy if one is a scientific materialist. But in a metaphysical realm, space-time and causation merely describe the limitations of materialism and its necessary fixation with quantity. Infinity is only a problem for materialists because they can never escape its contamination. And so why not drag God down into this fight? Meanwhile, God dwells within the higher dimension of quality, where Omar, in his remaining letters for Icarus Transfigured, re-envisions heaven not as a landscape bound by the terrestrial senses, but as a beautiful memory that abides dimensionless in the mind of God.
Dear Grasshopper, time, even more than space, puts us at the doorstep of the unfathomable. As a labyrinth that unravels in one dimension, time's ethereal skin pulses with murmurs more felt than touched. And this affords us an intimacy of echoes with the thing in itself that space alone cannot make intelligible. When I think I am in time doing it, not in space, that is, my thoughts have no spatial dimension. Hence, my sense of being dwells in this innermost dimension, or rather, this innermost dimension dwells in me. From being, time acquires meaning, and of all meaning we seek to establish through time, none is more meaningful to us than memory. Our experiential memory is, of course, a faulty record, and this is nowhere more evident than in what we choose to keep and discard from our past. Whereas the present is elusive because of its inescapable immediacy, we use the past like a photo album to preserve and distill what we believe to be most true. Resultingly, we have a personal connection to a past that we do not have with the future. We make imperfect myths out of it and see those forever motionless in it, like images trapped in a camera shutter, as being whole. While our sense of time compresses forward, it deepens backward, and every photograph that accumulates to our rear is more puzzle piece added to a finished picture than grain of sand lost to us in an hourglass. There are moments when I lie down to nap in the middle of the day, and in the jumble of seconds before I drift off into the ether, some bit of my childhood, some bit of formative sense memory comes flooding back as a beautiful frozen picture. And with such profundity of emotion, I can hardly contain it. As suddenly as it emerges, it folds into sleep with me, like a sweet companion to hold my hand into that place most like death. We live then by the empathy of memory, by first short and then longer steps.
In the chapter 13 letter, Omar again talks about the mystery of mathematics, except here by describing desirable destinations that can be glimpsed in mathematics, but never penetrated. This is another way of seeing the memory described in the previous letter.
Dear Grasshopper, man's practical occupations are cataloger and mapmaker. Mathematics is itself a kind of map-making that bolsters us in our belief we penetrate to the heart of things. However, when we arrive at the job site, we must deal with a subcontractor whose answers come by way of nods. Bertrand Russell once said, mathematics may be defined as the subject in which we never know what we're talking about, nor whether what we are saying is true. Einstein, putting it another way, remarked, as far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. In short, What is not possessed in any rational scheme is the being there. Kant said that there was more in a rational world than an empirical world could contain. Schopenhauer, answering him, concluded, "To think is to conceive less than one perceives." Niels Bohr, unrelated to these observations, mused, "The opposite of a correct statement is a false statement, but the opposite of a profound truth may well be another profound truth." One Rome, many roads. The mile markers that populate our journey allude to shared destinations. Faith will suffice to hold them in our hearts, if not always in our hands. And the landscape between them, ancient and forever new, is where the imagination invents what it cannot discover.